Okay, so to start with, I hate this. I hate this. I'm moving. Okay, we're back. So today I'm going to be talking about work because I've been working for like a month now and I'm a strong, independent woman. And I'm gonna be eating breakfast. Before we start, I would like to say I literally haven't had Panera in years. Like, not even like a bagel. It's crazy. It's been years. I miss it. And I haven't had mac and cheese in even more years. Like, I never eat mac and cheese. So today's gonna be fun. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. Yes. Yeah, I don't really, actually, that's not great. It's not Panera's fault. I just don't love almond milk that much. Like, I just drank this and it tastes like I was drinking almonds. So, that's really fresh. It's a lot. Wow. Okay. So, let's see. What should I talk about first? So good. That's really good. Oh my god. I would like to start off by saying that I love literally everybody I work with. Like, people at my job are great. I was worried that they wouldn't be, because I kind of had like this idea of the place that I work at. The place that I work at kind of has like a reputation, and I thought, I was like, oh my gosh, these people are gonna be like, not like crazy, but I thought they'd be like kind of like serious and stuff. And like, I'm not serious at all. I'm a whole jokester, like, but everybody is like really nice and amazing. And I haven't had a problem with anybody. I thought for like a few days that one of the managers might hate me, but turns out he's just kind of quiet and it's not me. So, everybody, I love everybody I work with. I think they like me enough, you know, so. No! Sorry. Anyways, first work story. So ever since I started working, I haven't had a car. It's like I had a car, and then suddenly the week that I started working, I didn't have a car anymore. So my car is in the shop because the AC has been broken for a while, and my mom decided that now would be a good time to get it fixed, you know, when I'm starting my job. It's really difficult having one car with two working women in the house, and it's just us, and it's hard, okay? I have to Uber to work most days, and most of the time the Ubers are nice and chill. But yesterday, I know we're starting off with a really recent story, but it is fresh in my mind, and I am upset, okay? Yesterday, I got the Uber 30 minutes early. I don't mean 30 minutes before I went to work. I mean 30 minutes before I usually head out for work. So I thought I'd be fine. It said that the Uber was 10 minutes away, which is normal. Like, usually it's like 13 minutes away because I don't really live in a place where a lot of Ubers live. So it's like, fine. 20 minutes passed and the person has not moved, okay? And I'm like, sister, what is happening? So I was like really like worried and upset. So I called the Uber. They didn't answer. I was like, what the frick? I called again. Then they answer. And it's this guy, and he's like, I was like, is this blank? I'm not gonna say his name. But he was like, I was like, are you blank? He was like, yeah. And I was like, are you coming? Like, and he was like, yeah, I tried calling you and the phone didn't work. But that's because my Uber account isn't set up with my phone number. And I changed it, you know, when I had to call him. But at first, it wasn't like when he was trying to call me, it just wasn't my number. So I was like, yeah, that wasn't my number. And he started like telling me, he was like, oh, it needs to be your number. And I was like, sister, you're not my dad. Like, why are you telling me what my Uber needs to be? It will be what I want it to be, you know? So I was like, okay, are you coming? And he was like, yeah, it says I'll be there in 10 minutes. And I was like, well, if you could, it would be nice if you could get here faster than that. Because at this point, he had to pick me up in 5 minutes for me to be on work on time. Ah! So he finally gets here, and literally, like, this is not a joke. Like, I was on my Snapchat, and I was about to start crying. I did my makeup yesterday, and I don't do my makeup every day for work. So it was like, I couldn't cry, but I really wanted to. Uber gets here. I get in the car, and I'm, like, texting my mom. And I'm just now leaving. And she's, like, bugging. Because apparently she thought I was supposed to be at work at 3, which I didn't know that until way later. So she's, like, telling me, she's like, call your manager. Call your manager, tell him that you're going to be late. It's already 3 o'clock. And I was like, I have 30 minutes to get to work, like, because I didn't have to be until 3:30. She was like, it's already 3 o'clock. Call. Use this number. Call the office, because I have one of my manager's number, but he's on vacation right now. So I'm like, I texted her, I'm like, yeah, I'll call it. I didn't call it because of course I didn't. Phone calls give me social anxiety. I already had one phone call with someone I don't really know, which was my Uber driver, and that's just too much for one day already. And then while my mom is texting me, oh, call, the Uber driver is like telling me, lecturing me about not having my phone number in as my Uber. He was like, yeah, I don't go to pick up people until I call them, because he had like his reasons, and I really did not care. But he's like telling me, he was like, it needs to be your number because what if somebody calls and all this stuff. And I'm like, sister, I don't care. And honestly, like, I was so upset anyways, because I was like, if that's your policy that you don't leave until you call and the person picks up, then why didn't you cancel on me? Like, I could have gotten a different Uber. Like, it's not that serious. He was like, you know, I called you twice and I thought, oh, I'd wait. He waited for 20 minutes? For 20 minutes for me to call him. What if I never called him? Would he just, like, never cancel? Like, what the fuck? So, and then I didn't want to cancel because there's no guarantee that the person if I canceled, there's no guarantee that, like, the person I got would have been, like, closer. So, you know, it said 10 minutes and I was like, that's not that bad. Anyways, I was about to cry, and then, like, the guy tried to, like, promote his business to me, and I was like, oh, hell no. Like, no. Excuse me. Canceled. He was, like, telling me about his business, and, you know, sister is, like, barely listening, and he's like, can you follow us on Instagram? And I did, because it would have been awkward if I said no. But I unfollowed last night. Anyways, I followed, and we get to my job, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna give you 5 stars, and I was like, okay, and I got out of the car. I haven't even rated him yet, but I'm debating between 2 and 3, and I always always either give like 4 or 5 stars. I've never given somebody lower than a 4-star. But today, it is going to be 3 stars, okay? Had to do a little Donald Trump because that was not okay. That whole situation was terrible for me. I made it to work on time, thank God, but I had to, like, run to, because I work in the mall, so I had to, like, run there. I was like, that was ridiculous. Story time number 2. I'm sorry, that one was kind of long, but I'm really upset about it. This one's good. So, story time number 2. I don't feel like I'm eating much, but it's because I talk too much. So this girl that I work with, she's like me, but prettier and more confident and better than me. I don't know if she's older or not, but we're both gonna be seniors next year, so she might be like a year older at the most. Anyways, this girl comes to work. I had already been working for like 2 or 3 hours. She gets there. And she's like, I had a dream about you. I was like, sister, what? She was like, yeah, I had a dream about you. I'll tell you about it. And so we had some customers. So we like, this wave of customers comes through. And then she starts telling us about this dream that she had. I was like, oh, sister, it was you, cutie pie number 1, cutie pie number 2, and me. And we were all closing. And I was like, okay. And she was like, you know, after work, I always wait for my boyfriend. So I did that. And I was like, all right. And she was like, cutie pie number 2 left. He went home. And I was like, okay. She was like, we had already closed the store. And I was like talking to my boyfriend. And then cutie pie number 1 left. And I was like, okay, sister. And then she was like, and then you came up to me and you were like, hey, do you have cutie pie number 1 Snapchat? And I was like, yeah, I do. And then you were like, can I have it? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm talking in her voice, okay? So when I say like, I was like, it's her saying that. And she was like, so I gave you his Snapchat. And then the next day you come to work and you come up to me and you're like, dude, me and cutie pie number 1 had a one-night stand. And cutie pie number 2 was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, that's what he said in the dream. And it was so funny, but like, so we were just like laughing about it. And then she was like, so, would you? And I was like, sister, I made a joke, okay? But these people, like, they're cool and all, but they don't joke like me. So I said, she was like, so would you? And I was like, oh yeah, that's totally the type of person I am. And then I had to turn around because we had a customer. And then cutie pie number 2 behind me was like, you know, she said that in a joking voice, but you know that she's serious. And I was like, what? I couldn't defend myself because I was with a customer. I could hear them talking about me in the back. I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. So I turned around and I'm like, no, I wouldn't do something like that. That's like, I wouldn't do it with this guy or like anybody. Like, that's just not the kind of person I am. Then the manager came out and the girl told him about the dream, but she just said really simple. She was like, I had a dream that her and cutie pie number 1 had a one-night stand. And he was like, don't go starting drama. Like, that's what he told her. She was like, I'm not. And then he looked at cutie pie number 2 and he was like, didn't you have a dream like that about cutie pie number 2 and this like other guy that used to work there? And he's just like quiet. Like, he starts like blushing like cutie pie number 2 because he's just like embarrassed. And she's like, oh yeah, I did it. I looked at him and I was like, so, did that ever happen? Okay, I'll tell a little story about my first day. And this is how I knew that I was working in the right place. So this girl is like training me. She's like really chill. But she's not quiet. She's just kind of like chill, you know? So she's not like super like excited or happy. She's just chill. So she asks me, she's like, so, we're like chilling because it's like empty. This is bothering me. Okay. Didn't make a difference. Maybe if I close this. I fixed it. Okay. So she's like training me. And the shop is like empty. So she's like, so, what about you? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, I don't know. What are like your hopes and dreams and stuff? And I was like, oh, I want to be an animator. Which now I know I want to be like a storyboard artist, but that's not really important for this story. She was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, she was like super like psyched about it. I was like, think she was like, I've never met anybody who wanted to do that. That's so cool. And I was like, thank you. Like, I don't think I reacted too much, but it meant a lot, okay? Because a lot of times when I tell people that, they're like, oh, you know, especially like older people. She's not like older, but she's a little bit older than me. Like, she's in college. So she was like, do you have any pets? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, do you have a dog? And I was like, yeah, I have a dog. And she was like, fuck yeah, dogs are the best. And I was like, yes. Oh my gosh, that just like really I know it's like weird, but I was really scared that everybody here was gonna be like serious and stuff. When she said that, I was like, this is cool. That's my little mukbang and story time. Oh, I bit my lip. I didn't finish any of my food. Well, I finished the avocado. But I got so invested in spending time with you guys that I just couldn't finish anything. I hope you enjoyed this cute little trendy video. I hope I get a lot of views on it for the word mukbang in the title. I hope you guys are having a great summer. Hope you enjoyed this video again. And yeah, go ahead and subscribe if you like my face. Subscribe if you don't like my face so that every time I upload, you can laugh at my face and feel better about your own face. Go ahead and like this video if you like this video, and go ahead and leave a thumbs down if you didn't like this video. Comment down below what your favorite food from Panera is. Just kidding. Comment whatever you want. Whatever your heart desires, comment that. And if your heart desires to comment nothing, then comment nothing. And I don't mean don't leave a comment. I mean write the word nothing and leave that as your comment. See you guys in a couple days. Peace.